beyond the wall. The wall is being demolished. Sledgehammers resound on both sides. The wall marked the national border for decades, until yesterday. Border might not be the right word, however. Originally, both sides were part of a single nation. The country became divided owing to differences in ideology, and the two sides remained so mutually antagonistic that a high, thick wall had to be built. Those days are gone now. A year ago, the leaders of the two sides shook hands in a historic reconciliation. Today, after much preparation and coordination, the wall that symbolized the two sides' antagonism is being demolished. The sound of hammering signals the end of opposition and extols the beginning of peace. "Come on, give me a break," says Huguenot, spitting on the ground and glaring at the backs of the people swarming at the wall. "Look at them, smiling like idiots. I can't believe it." He glances at Kaim by his side as if to say, "Right?" His still boyish face was a scowl of disgust. "Tell me, Kaim, you've been to a lot of different countries and seen all kinds of people. Can people just take years of hatred like that and throw it out the window?" Kaim gives him a sour smile instead of replying. Huguenot is a young man, the first person that Kaim became friends with shortly after he arrived in this border town. He's pleasant enough except for his stubborn hatred of people from the other side. "One lousy handshake and I'm out of a job. I mean, really, give me a break." Huguenot used to be a border guard, in other words, one of the men assigned to keep watch on the wall. He had volunteered, eager to kill anyone who dared to come over the wall from the other side. If his superiors had permitted it, he would have gladly crossed over and attacked the other side rather than waiting to fend off an invasion. As a mandatory part of the reconciliation, however, the border guards were disbanded. Unlike his brothers-in-arms, who quickly started new lives for themselves, Huguenot was left behind by the changing times. "Tell me, Kaim, can people be allowed to just slough off their resentment so easily? Do they just not give a damn?" Kaim does not respond to this. He knows that Huguenot is a victim of the age of confrontation. Still just a young man. A boy, even. Huguenot has been thoroughly conditioned since childhood to view the other side as the enemy. Watch out. The other side could attack at any time. Watch out. The other side are all cruel, cold-hearted villains. Watch out. If the other side ever invaded us and occupied our towns, they'd burn down our houses, steal our property, kill our men, assault our women. Watch out. The day is not far off when they will be invading us. It could be 3 days from now, or it could be tomorrow. They might be climbing the wall today, this very moment. Watch out. They've already sent their spies among us, and you can tell for sure who they are. They're the ones who extol and sympathize with the other side by word and by deed. Watch out. They're probing for the slightest gaps in our psychological armor. Remain alert. Be ready to draw your sword at any moment. Watch out. Watch out. Watch out. Watch out. There is much to be found out about the other side in the history books distributed in the schools on this side. The pictures of the people from the other side portrayed them all as ferocious demons. I'm not the only one, you know. All of us were taught the same thing. So how come everybody but me is so happy about the wall coming down? Huguenot asks, looking utterly bewildered by these new developments. Again and again he repeats his disbelief. Finally, Kaim cannot help but respond to him. "You were too pure," he says. "What?" "It's not your fault, Huguenot. It's the ones who filled your pure, honest heart with hatred." Wait a second now, Kaim. The animals who live on the other side of the wall are the ones who did that to me, the horrible things they do. Kaim cuts him short. Have they ever done anything horrible to you? Well, sure, no, not really to me, but just what is it you hate the other side for? Well, you see, Huguenot is momentarily at a loss for words until all he can do is raise his voice and blurt out, "It's true though, the whole bunch of them are just horrible people." He folds his arms in a decided pout. "How are they horrible? What did you ever see any of them do? When? Where?" Huguenot stammers and sputters. "Have I ever even met someone from over there?" Kaim demands to know. Huguenot hangs his head and shakes it from side to side. With a grim smile, Kaim says, "Well, I have. And they're not devils or demons or anything of the sort. How could they be? You all used to be part of the same country. But that stuff is beside the point anyway. Countries and races and tribes, you're all human beings. You're all the same. Yugino stays silent, hanging his head. Cheers erupt at the wall. The wall that has separated the two worlds for decades has just now been broken through. Representatives from this side and the other side walk through the opening, greet each other with smiles and firm handshakes, and embrace. The cheers grow louder, and people, mostly members of the younger generation, gather in circles here and there, expressing their joy. Yugino glares down at his own shadow and asks Kaim, "So, what should I do now? All I've ever done is hate. All I've ever known how to do is hate them." Kaim gives Yugino a pat on the shoulder and says, "It's not too late to change. You can start now." "Can I?" "You can, I'm sure of it." Kaim is sure because he knows what it was like when both sides were a single country. It was a kindly nation, by no means rich. It was yet a happy country of compassionate people. "I'm telling you, Yugino, people can change." "If you say so." "Look over there, Yugino. Look at those people enjoying themselves." Hesitantly, Yugino raises his head. Around the wall, a celebration is beginning. Young people are dancing, singing, toasting each other, engaging in conversation, and all of them used to be companions of Yugino's who received the same education he did. No doubt the young people on the other side were similarly educated to hate. "What do you see over there? Demons? Devils?" Yugino shakes his head and lets the tightness go out of his shoulders. "I'm beginning to wonder, Kaim. Why until now I've been so..." Kaim pats him on the shoulder again to signal that he understands. "People can change," he says. "They can change from hating to loving, and from loving to hating." Yes, Kaim knows about that as well. He saw how such a wonderfully unified country was divided in two at the end of a violent civil war. "Don't change anymore," Kaim says, "not just to Yugino, but to all the smiling young people." A young girl hesitantly approaches Yugino. She is from the other side. She holds a plate full of cookies. "Have some if you'd like," she says. "I baked them this morning." The cookies are heart-shaped. Urged on by the smiling Kaim, Yugino reaches out for a cookie, his face bright red. "Thanks," he says shyly, and takes a bite of his cookie. "Good?" she asks. Yugino turns a deeper shade of red and says, "Delicious!" White birds cut across the blue sky. From the other side to this side. From this side to the other. The white birds sail through the sky almost joyfully, as if to tell the people below, "In the beginning, there were no borders." End.